Hey guys, MVC here for the Scam Pro Gaming tab for another video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the TP-Link AV500 Powerline adapters with power pass-through and Wi-Fi extender, essentially designed for those of you that might not otherwise have access to a direct wired connection. So for those of you that play competitive games or stream to Twitch TV which require a good upload speed, this could definitely be the answer than otherwise using a poor wireless signal of 1 to 2 bars, for example. So you live in shared accommodation, you don't have direct access to the router, or if you don't have planning permission to directly output a ridiculously long Ethernet cable from the router into another room in the house, you can simply plug this into a power socket into the wall next to the router, Ethernet connection out of the router into the bottom of this, plug this into another plug socket somewhere else in the house. It will give you full signal in terms of wireless, plus 3 Ethernet ports on the bottom to output to your number of different devices. So it could be a lifesaver. Hopefully we're going to see how it performs in terms of streaming and also latency, and hopefully help you decide whether a Powerline adapter is for you. So stick around guys, enjoy the video, and I'll catch you at the end for my final thoughts. So moving into a quick overview before we jump into some actual testing, the TP-Link AV500 pass-through Powerline Wi-Fi kit is kind of a starter pack. Essentially, in the pack we've got 2 different Powerline adapters, the white and grey TL-WPA4230P and the black and white TL-WPA4230P. Both essentially serve the same purpose, with the black and white edition having some additional features such as that 300 megabyte per second wireless extender. But essentially both utilize your Powerline to extend your internet connection, in particular maybe the Wi-Fi, to previously hard to reach areas, which again can be great when it comes to gaming. Now I definitely lean toward the black and white edition here because all the Ethernet connections come out of the bottom of the unit rather than the top, the white and grey. So would I prefer 2 of the black and white? Yeah, sure. But at the same time, it's not like you need 2 Wi-Fis, particularly on the one next to your router, because that's already going to be outputting a good strong wireless connection anyway. Now in the box you've also got 2 Ethernet cables, something I was pleasantly surprised at, a quick installation guide, and if you get stuck along the way, a resource CD as well. Now the final thing to note is that TP-Link support 8, 16 or even more Powerline adapters in a single network depending on the model number. Now starting off with the black and white WPA4230P, we have the power pass-through on the front with support for up to 500 megabytes per second over a wired connection and 300 over wireless. We've got 4 LEDs, power, Powerline, Ethernet and Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi also doubling as a connectivity button. On the other side we find 3 Ethernet connections for your PC, laptop, etc., and our pairing button to connect to other adapters, and our reset button whilst connected to a plug socket. And now moving on to its little brother, the TL-WPA4020P retains that 500 megabytes per second speed via Ethernet over the Powerline, but loses wireless connectivity. The pairing button has been moved to the front with the 3 LEDs for power, Powerline and Ethernet. This time, however, the 2 Ethernet ports have been moved to the top of the device, which again can be used as both input and output, depending if you want to add more devices later on. But both devices do feel of high build quality, with me leaning toward again the black and white version for the location of the Ethernet ports. But with that said, let's go ahead and just jump into installation and testing. So installation of our Powerline adapters was very much straightforward, plug and play. And again, I don't necessarily need a Powerline adapter because I already routed ridiculously long Ethernet cable from downstairs, outside and up through the wall. But with that said, and for the purpose of the video, step 1, we plugged in the little brother, followed by the blue and purple Ethernet connection coming out from our router. Then step 2, we connected the bigger brother 30P with wireless connectivity to the wall, followed by my 6-way extension that has my PC, monitors, speakers and everything else powering it, utilizing the pass-through on the adapter. And for our third and final step, we utilized an Ethernet cable from inside the box and connected the big brother to my PC and turned it on. Now to pair it up, we simply hit the pair button on the device connected to the router first, and within 1 minute hit the pair button on the underneath of the second device connected to my PC. The LEDs started to flash, and once they stopped, we knew it was ready to go. It done all the work for us and set it up. Now what wasn't demonstrated here was wireless connectivity. To set that up, simply hit the WPS button on your router or equivalent device, followed by the wireless button on the 30p, and again, that will do all the work for you. And if it doesn't, check out the resource CD. But if you do get really stuck and it's not working and you're not sure if it's because you're on a different electrical circuit with each device, just first pair up the devices using a 4 or 6-way and move it to its own dedicated plug socket afterwards. It's not really advisable to use a 4 or 6-way all the time for performance reasons, but it's okay just to pair the device and then to move them around the house just to see where the problem's lying. So testing and demonstrating the TP-Link Powerline adapter in action was always going to be tough, but first I wanted to highlight the ping download and upload speed differences when connected to the Powerline and compared to directly to the router. So on the left is the TP-Link Powerline, on the right direct to the router, and first connected to the Powerline and connected to the Birmingham server, we got a ping of 12 milliseconds, a download of 80.89 and an upload of 12.25. Now I know this to be significantly lower than my Virgin Media top end package, which is due to get 150 down and 12 up. So swapping over to the router, we got a ping of 11, a download of 147.20 and an upload of 12.14. And to repeat the tests, we did this time to Leicester and directly to the router scored a ping of 15, a download of 137.09 and an upload of 12.30. And then via the Powerline, a ping of 8, a download of 83.39 and an upload of 12.26. And what this tells us is that over a wide connection, the only area the Powerline adapter really falls short on in the UK is on download speed, maxing out at 80 to 90 megabytes per second, which if you're on something like the top end Virgin Media package could prove to be an issue and force you to consider maybe dropping down to a package below if your only method of connectivity is via a Powerline adapter. But to be honest, I struggle to think of any situation where you'd need more than that anyway. Ping was great, there was no packet loss, and playing games was just a joy to do via it, no different than wired, and upload speed in the 12 to 13 range is more than enough for Twitch TV, something we'll get into in a minute, which maxes out at 3.5 anyway. Now moving over to the other side of the house away from the router, our home VC2 and 5, the 2.4 and 5 GHz networks have a signal of 1 to 2 bars, but using the aptly renamed Power Home VC TP-Link adapter, we now have 5 signal. Now unfortunately I don't have a wireless dongle to try this out with my PC, but via the Note 4, and take the ping value here with a pinch of salt, connected directly to the 2.4 GHz router, we had a ping of 22, a download of 11.28 and an upload of 11.41, and then to go through the adapter, we're able to increase the download speed to 36.97 and the upload speed to 12.50. And not only that, but the increase in signal is definitely something I'd be comfortable at, especially when streaming to Twitch TV. And again, the upload speed is more than enough, as is the download and ping for playing games. So yeah, just great performance again. So finally, I wanted to check that streaming to Twitch TV via the Powerline adapter in a wide connection was feasible and there weren't any intermittent dropouts in the connection that could otherwise hurt the user experience. So what I did was set up OBS to local record my desktop and then opened up XSplit and streamed to Twitch TV at 3,500 kilobytes per second, 120 by 720 at 60 FPS. Obviously, I've got a pretty good CPU, the Intel i7-3770K that's overclocked that allows me to do that, but I can max out everything and I was streaming for a long time. It's all sped up in the background, as you can see, at least 10 minutes at this quick segment just to show you it was at least working, but I did continue on to stream for about 6 to 7 hours using the Powerline adapter previously, so no issues whatsoever at all in any of the testing, both gaming and streaming, and in other words, almost flawless product had it not been for the slightly lower download speed. But yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and just jump straight into my final thoughts. So final thoughts then for the TP-Link AV500 pass-through Powerline Wi-Fi starter kit, I'm going to call it. Really, I have little to complain about when it comes to the performance of the product. My only complaints lie in its aesthetics. The little brother, the grey edition, just doesn't look as nice as the bigger brother white edition with the wireless connectivity. I also don't like the fact that the cables come out the top rather than the bottom, which means cable management is more of a pain. Maybe in the future we could also see customizable faceplates to make it fit into various different decors much easier. But again, that's niggles that are really irrelevant to the performance of the product, which quite frankly was fantastic. Yes, we lost a little bit of download speed, but who really needs more than 90 megabyte per second anyway? Yeah, I do get more going direct to my router, and because I'm going direct to my router already, I wouldn't consider using this adapter anyway. But if you're in a position where you need something like a Powerline adapter, maybe you're only using wireless connectivity, or using wireless with low signal, or you're using wired but it's going up the stairs and it's going to trip a number of people up over the years, then a Powerline Powerline adapter might not be the worst way to go. My latency didn't increase. I wouldn't have an issue, in my opinion, playing competitive games. There was no packet loss or anything like that increased from what I saw when I was going direct into the modem. And on top of that, when it came to uploading to Twitch TV, there were no intermittent drops or anything like that I was initially worried about and concerned about. So having my maximum 12 megabyte upload speed there is almost still overkill, because you only need 3.5 maximum when streaming to Twitch, plus at least 0.7 or 700 kilobytes per second to keep your ping at a good level. And that's the maximum supported by Twitch. You can stream on lower than that as well. So in all, if you're someone that needs a Powerline adapter, this is definitely something to consider. It's something that I would use if I needed to use it, but right now, because I'm going direct into the router and I'm already routed outside the house and coming back in, I don't need it. But moving forward, if I didn't want to trip people up with cables all over the place, or if I couldn't get permission from my landlord to drill out, sorry for my phone by the way, and come back in, then a Powerline adapter is something I would seriously, well, I wouldn't even question it twice. This is something I would use. So I think TP-Link here have got a great product for competitive gamers, and it really satisfies every area. Again, you still, if you've not got a good router with good quality of service to prioritize certain traffic, definitely consider that before something like a Powerline adapter. Powerline adapter, definitely very specific. Yes, you get the features of maybe a switch with the different Ethernet ports on the bottom, but quality of service and that kind of thing is also important. The one thing I didn't really test is the Wi-Fi via the PC for streaming. Again, I don't have a Wi-Fi dongle. I only have a single PC in here, or two PCs, or multiple PCs actually, but nothing of the sort that's wireless. Only my Galaxy Note 4. But you saw on my Note 4 it was perfectly fine. It boosted the signal in other rooms in the house from 1 to 2 bars to 5. So for that, I have no complaints. And I guess that's as much as I can say about the product. If you're in the market, do check it out. It's something that I'll consider using if I ever need it. Right now, I don't. But for now, guys, I've been MVC here for the Scam Pro Gaming tab. Have a great day, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.